It's the 1870s, and America is undergoing a massive shift in where people live and work.
By the close of the Civil War, the United States is still primarily an agricultural nation. About half of Americans worked in agriculture, compared to about 1% today. But that's going to change rapidly with the Industrial Revolution.
People were being drawn from the farms by higher-paying jobs in the factories of the cities. As people moved from farms to the city, they discovered they can't grow their own food anymore. Somebody has to grow your food for you.
With fewer people on the farms, those left behind have to work much harder.
Farm labor was incredibly challenging work for everybody, including the animals, who provided a lot of the literal horsepower to plow the fields, to pull the combines.
Harvesting a single 5-acre farm usually requires walking 40 miles behind an animal-drawn plow. One budding entrepreneur has just arrived in California to seize what he hopes will be a big opportunity. His name is Benjamin Holt.
Brother. Charles, good to see you. California is treating you well.
Benjamin grew up in the Northeast in New Hampshire, and he and his 4 brothers worked in the family sawmill, helping make wagon wheels and learning the business. And Benjamin Holt himself, out of the brothers, was probably the most mechanically inclined.
His brothers run the Stockton Wheel Company, but Benjamin wants to make more than just wheels.
He pretty quickly realized how inefficient the mobility was and the planting, seeding, harvesting was with the equipment that was readily available.
He sees an opportunity thanks to a recent surge in California's farming industry.
After the gold rush in particular, wealthy prospectors began to buy up huge tracts of land where they start large commercial farms because they recognize enormous profits to be made in the sale of farm goods back east.
The Transcontinental Railroad means food grown out west can now reach city markets back east much faster. To meet demand, farmers turn to new steam-powered equipment, but it still has to be pulled by horses.
But then inventors figured out how to get the steam engine to move the machine itself. And that's how you get the first tractors.
A handful of inventors begin experimenting with these new machines, but Benjamin Holt believes he can build a better one. So he and his brothers gamble and invest nearly every cent they have, some $2 million today, into a factory to produce huge steam tractors. The only problem, Benjamin Holt has never built one before. One day his company will be known as Caterpillar, the biggest producer of construction equipment in the world, helping farmers, builders, and even astronauts, while earning over $100 billion. But in the late 1880s, he's struggling to build a steam tractor with enough power to pull a big combine. Finally, in 1890, he unveils his new machine. Nicknamed Old Betsy, Holt's tractor features a single-cylinder steam engine capable of generating 60 horsepower, twice as much as his closest competitor. And it's the first to feature steering clutches, making it far more maneuverable.
Holt's steam tractor could do the work of dozens of horses at 1/6 the cost. This is a major cost savings for the commercial farmer.
The Holts quickly sell 130 of their steam-powered tractors for $8,000 each, nearly $225,000 today. by the early 1890s, some 2,000 steam-powered tractors are at work on American farms. They're expensive, and their immense weight makes them hard to maneuver and prone to getting stuck in the mud. A major issue for Benjamin Holt's new machine.
Because that engine was so heavy, he had to build wagon wheels that were 6 foot in diameter and 3 foot wide, and it just made for a pretty ornery machine.
Ben Holt?
That's me, sir.
So, guess what happens when you have a 48,000-pound piece of machinery in very soft dirt?
My tractor's stuck, and it's all you're doing.
If he can't find an answer soon, Benjamin Holt's new business could go under, and he's desperate to find a new way to stop the 24-ton machine from sinking into the mud.
Charles, take a look. What do you think?
It's a wheel.
See how a wheel only touches the ground on this one point? A wheel sinks into the mud for the same reason you do. All that considerable weight pushes down on just a few spots. But if I attach these slats together, that weight spreads over a much bigger area, kind of like a snowshoe. And I think it should stay up.
Other inventors have experimented with using belts or steel tracks to keep heavy machinery from sinking, but none have been successful. Holt believes wooden tracks are the key. If he's wrong, the Holt brothers' massive investment will be for nothing.
Inventors and entrepreneurs, too, share something, and that's a kind of obsession with achieving their vision. Sometimes it can border on the fanatic. You wonder why they won't let go of this idea, but they keep on pushing, even though they hit wall after wall after wall.
Finally, on Thanksgiving 1904, Benjamin Holt is ready to unveil his new creation. He invites a photographer to capture what he hopes will be an historic moment.
It'll be here.
What in the name of God? It crawls. Just like a caterpillar.
Caterpillar it is! That's the name for it.
It's a name that will stick, as will Holt's innovative tracks, inspiring the design of tractors and heavy machinery for the next century.
It's amazing that the track type system that you see on construction equipment, oil rigs, a variety of equipment today is still almost exactly the same as it was 130 years ago. It completely revolutionized mobility in those industries.
Holt quickly sells 100 of his tracked crawlers for $5,500 each, nearly $165,000 today. The future of farming belongs to Benjamin Holt.